Everything changes in one moment when you finally decide. Most people wait for the perfect moment, and years go by. But not you. You're about to learn how to take control, stop settling, and step into the life you're capable of. Jim Rohn said, "Your life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by change." But change begins with one thing, a decision. A single, profound, life-altering decision that separates those who drift through life from those who rise to their full potential. The power of a real decision. A real decision is not hope. It is not a maybe. It is not a fleeting intention. A real decision is a commitment to a new identity. When you make a decision, you are saying, "This is who I am now. This is the direction I am taking my life." No more excuses, no more waiting, no more blaming circumstances. Before wealth, before success, before meaningful personal growth, there is a decision. One clear, resolute decision that separates those who rise from those who remain stagnant. Think of it like this. A smoker doesn't quit by throwing away their last cigarette. They quit when they decide they are no longer that person. A person escapes debt not when they make their last payment, but when they decide they will never again accept financial chaos. A student doesn't succeed because a test was easy. They succeed because they can decide failure is no longer acceptable. Life doesn't change when conditions improve. Life changes when you choose a new direction, even if no one else can see it yet. Why most people never decide? Most people avoid real decisions because decisions bring responsibility. Responsibility is heavy. It requires time, effort, accountability. Once a decision is made, excuses disappear. Comfort zones are abandoned. The old story ends. You become the main character in your own life story. Fear is the greatest obstacle. Fear of failure. Fear of looking foolish. Fear of stepping into the unknown. Waiting seems easier. Blaming seems easier. Clinging to familiar routines seems easier. But the moment you decide, fear stops being a barrier and becomes a compass pointing toward growth. Identity shift, the core of transformation. Every transformation begins with an identity shift. Jim Rohn said, "If you want more, you must become more." Notice, he didn't say get more or find more. He said, become more. Your identity sets your limits. You cannot outperform the person you believe you are. If you see yourself as unlucky, opportunities slip past. If you see yourself as average, responsibility feels heavy. If you see yourself as unworthy, you settle for less than you deserve. When you decide to become capable, disciplined, and worthy, your mind begins reshaping your life to align with that identity. Every thought, habit, and action begins to follow. The turning point. Everyone experiences a turning point. Some are fueled by frustration. I cannot live like this anymore. Others are inspired. I want a better life. Some face crises, others awaken from dreams. Whatever your turning point, it only becomes transformation when you can decide, and perhaps you felt it, staring at yourself late at night, realizing excuses are no longer acceptable, or waking up one morning knowing waiting for permission or timing is over. That is your life signaling. Decide now. Your future depends on it. If you felt this moment, that instant when life demanded a change, type, "I'm ready," in the comments. Momentum begins with one yes. You don't need the perfect plan. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need a one yes. A decision that says, I am committed. I am responsible. I will take the next step, no matter what. Once made, momentum begins. The next steps appear. Opportunities reveal themselves. Fear diminishes. Think of a train, stationary. Even a small obstacle can stop it. Once moving, nothing can hold it back. That is the power of a life-changing decision. Planting the seed of transformation. Every action, habit, and choice after a decision is a seed. Some grow into success. Others wither if neglected. Jim Rohn said, "Don't let your learning lead to knowledge. Let it lead to action." Decide, plant the seed. Commit, water the seed. Act consistently. Let it grow. Over time, your life reflects that decision. Momentum builds. Discipline compounds. Actions become habits. Success becomes inevitable. From decision to transformation. Imagine a young professional stuck in a dead-end job. Each day he complains about his boss, colleagues, and circumstances. One evening, exhausted, he looks in the mirror. Enough. I refuse to let life define me. I am taking control. He doesn't yet know the full plan, but he decides. That decision sparks learning, networking, risk-taking, and personal growth. Months pass, a year passes. His life is transformed, not because of luck, but because one decisive moment changed everything. Now imagine a single mother working 2 jobs, struggling to provide for her children. She feels trapped, exhausted, and defeated. One night she writes in her journal, "I will create a better life for my kids and myself. I refuse to settle." That decision is the spark. She begins learning new skills, organizing her finances, and building habits that align with her new identity. Within a year, her life has shifted. Her children see a mother who is empowered and capable, not defeated. Turning decisions into daily action. At the end of part 1, you made a decision. You chose to take control of your life, to step into growth, to become the person capable of achieving more. That is the most important step, the spark. But as Jim Rohn often said, your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. Now comes the part that separates dreamers from achievers, turning that decision into action. A decision alone is invisible power. Action is what makes it tangible. Without action, decisions are nothing but thoughts, fleeting ideas that fade with distraction. Align your daily habits with your decision. Decisions create momentum, but habits maintain it. Every decision, no matter how powerful, must be reinforced by repeated action. Jim Rohn said, "Motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going." Consider your day-to-day routines. Ask yourself, do your actions reflect your new identity? Do they support the person you decided to become? Or are you performing behaviors that reinforce the old story? Habits are like invisible forces. They either lift you towards success or drag you back into mediocrity. A single decision cannot overcome years of old habits unless you consciously align daily actions with your choice. Imagine a person who decided to become financially independent. They might start by tracking every expense, creating a monthly budget, learning about investments, reading books that expand financial literacy. Each small step seems insignificant alone, but together they compound. That's the power of habit paired with a decision. Break big goals into daily action. Big changes are intimidating. They feel distant, overwhelming. That's why many people procrastinate after a life-changing decision. Jim Rohn said, "Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines, practiced every day." Take your decision to transform your life and break it down into small, achievable daily actions. Small victories build momentum and confidence. For example, if your decision is to become healthier, today, drink 8 glasses of water. Today, walk for 15 minutes. Today, replace sugary snacks with whole foods. Each small action reinforces your new identity. I am someone who cares for my body and health. Over time, these micro-actions compound into massive transformation. Surround yourself with supportive influences. Jim Rohn wisely said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." The people around you can either uplift or undermine your decision. Surround yourself with those who embody the qualities you wish to develop. Seek mentors, read books, watch motivational content, join communities with similar goals. Avoid people who drain your energy or reinforce old limiting beliefs. Consider this. A young professional wants to start a business. If they continue spending their free time with friends who constantly complain or discourage risk-taking, their decision will struggle to take root. But if they spend time with successful entrepreneurs, absorb their mindset and model their habits, their momentum accelerates exponentially. Track progress, reflect, and adjust. Action without reflection leads to burnout or wasted effort. Jim Rohn often emphasized, "Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live." And in a broader sense, take care of your life by observing your results. Track progress daily, weekly, and monthly. Ask yourself, are my actions aligned with my decision? What worked this week? What didn't? What small adjustments can I make to reinforce progress? Reflection is the secret ingredient that transforms action into consistent results. Without it, habits drift and decisions fade. With it, you stay accountable and focused, turning decision into action. Imagine a man named David. One night, he decided to take control of his health. Before this, he was sedentary, eating fast food and feeling trapped in low energy. That decision sparked a plan. He woke up 30 minutes earlier each day to walk. He replaced one unhealthy meal with a healthy alternative daily. He tracked his progress every week. Months passed, and David's transformation wasn't dramatic overnight, but it was steady and undeniable. By aligning daily habits with his decision, he created momentum that grew unstoppable. His energy increased, his confidence soared, and he attracted opportunities he never imagined. This is the essence of Jim Rohn's philosophy. Decisions plus disciplined daily action, life transformation. Overcome setbacks with perspective. Even with the best habits, momentum, and support, challenges will arise. Life will test your resolve. Jim Rohn reminded us, learn how to be happy with what you have while you pursue all that you want. Setbacks are not failures. They are opportunities to reinforce your identity and refine your approach. When obstacles appear, ask, what can I learn from this? How can I adjust without abandoning my decision? How can I maintain momentum despite this challenge? The difference between those who succeed and those who quit is not perfection. It's persistence, consistency, and perspective. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit subscribe now. Sustaining momentum and creating lifelong change. At the end of part 2, you have taken a decision, turned it into action, built habits, tracked progress, and navigated setbacks. Momentum is flowing, but the journey isn't complete. The final step in transformation is sustaining momentum, ensuring that your decision creates permanent change, your habits become identity, and your life fully reflects the person you've chosen to become. Jim Rohn said, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It is the discipline to keep moving, even when excitement fades, even when obstacles appear, that turns temporary change into lifelong results. Make your decision part of your identity. The difference between temporary success and lasting transformation is identity. Your decision must be woven into who you are. Ask yourself, who am I becoming through this decision? How does this choice define the person I am? If someone observed my life, would they see evidence of my decision? Identity is reinforced through repetition, reflection, and environment. When your daily actions are aligned with the person you are, becoming, you no longer have to force yourself. Your choices are automatic because they are a natural part of who you are. For example, consider someone who decided to become a disciplined entrepreneur. At first, waking early, studying, networking and taking risks feels unnatural. But over time, these actions become a part of who they are. Discipline is no longer a chore, it is their identity. Expand your vision beyond the immediate. Jim Rohn taught. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Growth is continuous. Momentum is sustained when your vision keeps expanding. Your decision today is the seed. Tomorrow aim to water it in new ways. Learn new skills to elevate your expertise. Develop relationships that expand your opportunities. Challenge yourself with goals that feel slightly uncomfortable. Momentum thrives when your vision stretches you. Staying too comfortable causes stagnation. By continually raising the bar, your decision evolves into a lifestyle of growth, resilience, and achievement. Use reflection as a daily tool. Reflection transforms action into wisdom. Without it, even disciplined habits can become mechanical and lose purpose. Jim Rohn often encouraged self-assessment. Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. Daily reflection allows you to celebrate wins and reinforce positive behavior. Learn from mistakes without self-judgment. Adjust your approach to remain aligned with your vision. Reflection is the feedback loop that converts effort into meaningful progress. The person who reflects daily does not merely act. They grow intelligently, learning from every choice. Embrace abundance thinking. A key part of sustaining momentum is mindset. Many people sabotage progress with scarcity thinking. There's not enough time, money, or opportunity. Jim Rohn said, "Abundance is not something we acquire, it is something we tune into." When you make your decision, align it with an abundant mindset. Opportunities exist everywhere for those prepared. Challenges are invitations to learn, not punishment. Every success is a chance to elevate yourself and others. Abundance thinking keeps momentum alive. It transforms setbacks into lessons, effort into growth, and ordinary life into extraordinary achievement. Share and multiply your impact. True transformation is not solitary. Jim Rohn emphasized the power of giving. The challenge of leadership is to be strong but not rude, be kind but not weak, be bold but not a bully, be thoughtful but not lazy, be humble but not timid, be proud but not arrogant, have humor but without folly. When your decisions positively affect others, your momentum multiplies. Share your lessons, mentor someone, contribute to your community. The act of giving reinforces your identity, strengthens discipline, and adds purpose beyond personal gain. Story example: permanent transformation. Consider Sarah, a woman who decided to leave a toxic job and create a career aligned with her passion. She began with small actions: daily skill practice, networking, and mindful planning. Months into her journey, setbacks tested her commitment. Projects failed, mentors were unavailable, and self-doubt surfaced. Instead of quitting, Sarah reflected, adjusted, and kept moving. She embraced abundance thinking, seeing each challenge as a lesson, each connection as an opportunity. She shared her progress and supported peers in their journeys. Years later, Sarah's life had transformed. She was not just successful professionally, but had become a role model. Her identity was no longer defined by fear or circumstance. It was defined by consistent decisions, disciplined action, and lifelong learning. This is the essence of Jim Rohn's teaching. Decisions, plus habits, plus reflection, plus mindset, plus contribution, plus permanent transformation. If you've followed this journey, take a moment to reflect. Your life is in your hands. Type: I am committed in the comments to anchor your decision, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Remember, a single decision can ignite a life of transformation. Daily actions aligned with that decision build momentum. Reflection, mindset, and contribution sustain long-term success. Life doesn't wait. Opportunities do not wait. Your future is shaped by what you decide to do today. Jim Rohn said it best. Time and patience are the strongest warriors. The moment you decide to be responsible for your life, everything changes.